the Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. We continue reading from Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 8. We are on chapter 19. Does anyone remember what we read yesterday?
Sorry. Yesterday we read that how uh,
Neha,
Vaman
your voice is too low. Can't hear.
is it? Is it now also?
Now it's better.
Okay. So what we read was that Vaman Dev has arrived at the arena, and uh, then he started praising the dynasty and the lineage of Prahlad of um, Bali Maharaj, and he said that, oh, your grandfather Vimochan was also so great. He has done so
Father,
nice things.
Father Virochan,
Your father,
Bali's.
sorry,
Mm.
Bali's father Vimochan, he was so
Virochan,
great.
Virochan.
Virochan.
Mm.
So he was so great that he used to be so give charity in so much that even brahmanas asked for his age and he gave them. And then he said, he also praised Hiranyakashipu, Hiranyaksh. So he was praising everybody before asking. And then after that, he praised Bali Maharaj also, that you yourself are also so great. Like you give so much to Brahmanas and you have done so nice things. And then he asked, in the end, he said that um, I just want three feet. I just, but then we read that a
He
person should
wanted
always
3
ask
pieces of land.
land for
His,
himself. So
yeah,
because he was very small,
on
so
the size of his feet, right?
size of the feet was
Says,
very,
give,
very small.
he said, give
So
me the size of my feet,
my feet,
3 steps. Mm.
yeah. And then what was mainly emphasized was that this was just a Leela. This was like he just wanted to take the whole universe, and the three he would just take whole universe in these 3 feet, and that was his plan, and to show his prowess. And yeah, so he would have covered all the three
Yeah,
planetary system.
with his
Yeah,
3 steps, right? With his
three
three
steps. Yeah,
steps,
yeah.
covers everything.
Yeah.
Okay,
Hare
that's
Krishna.
thank Hare Krishna.
Yeah, like Bali Maharaj Guru Sukracharya, he knew like he is God, Vaman Devata. Like he is not a Brahman, he is God. And he also stopped Bali Maharaj to don't do this, whatever Vaman Devata has asked for. But like as we read, like we obey gurus and we have to follow the guru steps. Then here why Bali Maharaj don't uh, like
Well, we have not
Yeah,
yet
we
obey
have to
come
his
read
to
orders.
the
this,
part.
right?
Huh?
We have not yet come to that part.
Yeah, we haven't read that.
Oh, okay,
We
okay,
have
okay.
Yeah.
not yet read.
Oh, okay, 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 okay. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so
Yeah,
let's
so
So,
discuss it when we come to that part
okay,
then.
okay. Hare Krishna.
Okay. Nanyate kamaye rajan,
नान्यते कामये राजन्
vadanya jagadishvara,
Vadanya
वदन्याजगदीश्वरात्
Jaktishvara
naina prapnoti ve vidvan,
नैन
Nana
प्राप्नोति वे
Prapnoti
विद्वान्
Vedvam
yavad artha pratigraha.
यावत्
Yavat Artha
अर्थप्रतिग्रह.
Pratigraha.
Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada. O King, controller of the entire universe, although you are very munificent and are able to give me as much land as I want, I do not want anything from you that is unnecessary. If a learned Brahmana takes charity from others only according to his needs, he does not become entangled in sinful activities. A Brahmana or sannyasi is qualified to ask charity from others, but if he takes more than necessary, he is punishable. So this is a lesson for the brahmanas, for the sannyasis, that that charity needs to be asked as much as is needed. No one can use more of the Supreme Lord's property than necessary. Lord Vamandev indirectly indicated to Bali Maharaj that he was occupying more land than he needed. In the material world, all distresses are due to extravagance. One acquires money extravagantly and also spends it extravagantly. Such activities are sinful. All property belongs to the Supreme Personality of Godhead, and all living beings who are sons of the Supreme Lord have the right to use the Supreme Father's property, but one cannot take more than necessary. So Prabhupada is explaining that indirectly Vamandev is also telling Bali Maharaj that you have taken more than you need, because Bali Maharaj had taken all the three worlds, the lower planets, the middle planets, and the upper planets. He had taken everywhere. Like the upper planetary systems are for the demigods, but he had also occupied that. So this principle should especially be followed by brahmanas and sannyasis who live at the cost of others. Thus Vamandev was an ideal beggar, for he asked only 3 paces of land. Of course, there's a difference between his footsteps and those of an ordinary human being. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, by his inconceivable prowess, can occupy the entire universe, including the upper, lower, and middle planetary systems, by the unlimited measurement of his footsteps. So that's another thing, that Vamandev is Lord himself. So with his 3 steps, he's going to take the entire universe, He's going to cover the entire universe. Shri Baliruvacha,
Shri Baliruvacha,
Aho Brahmana Dayada,
Aho Brahmana Dayada,
Vachaste Vriddha Sammataha,
Vachaste Vrita Sammattaha,
Tvam Balo Balisha Matihi,
Twambalo Bali Shamatihi,
Swartham Prati Abudho Yatha.
Swartham Pratya Abhudo Yatha.
Bali Maharaj said, O son of a Brahmana, your instructions are as good as those of learned and elderly persons. Nonetheless, you are a boy, and your intelligence is insufficient. Thus, you're not very prudent in regard to your self-interest. Bali Maharaj is saying you're too young, you're immature. I am the owner of this whole universe. You're just asking me 3 steps of land. You can take as much as you want, you can ask me more. The Supreme Personality of Godhead, being full in himself, actually has nothing to want for his self-interest. Lord Vamandev, therefore, had not gone to Bali Maharaj for his own self-interest. Someone may think that Lord Vamandev went there to beg from Bali for himself. No, everything belongs to the Lord. This full universe belongs to the Lord. Right? As stated in Bhagavad Gita 5:29, Bhoktaram Yagyatapasam Sarvaloka Maheshwaram. The Lord is the proprietor of all planets in both the material and spiritual worlds. Why should he be in want of land? Bali Maharaj rightly said that Lord Vamandev was not at all prudent in regard to his own personal interests. Lord Vamandev had approached Bali not for his personal welfare, but for the welfare of his devotees. Devotees sacrifice all personal interest to satisfy the Supreme Personality of Godhead. And similarly, the Supreme Lord, although having no personal interest, can do anything for the interest of his devotees. One who is full in himself has no personal interest. So Lord is self-sufficient. He does not need anything from anyone. But because the devotees take so much anxiety to please him, they take so much efforts to please him, they please him with so much love, with so much devotion, the Lord gets caught with this emotion, with this love, and he wants to reciprocate also. And then he reciprocates with the love of his devotees. So it's a loving exchange between the Lord and his devotee. Mam vachobi samaradhya
Mam Vacho Bismaradhya
Lokanam ekam ishvaram.
Lokanamekam Ishwaram.
Padatrayam vriniteyo.
Padatrayam
Padatrayam Vriniteyo.
Buddhiman dvipada shusham.
Buddhiman Dvipadashusam.
I am able to give you an entire island because I'm the proprietor of the three divisions of the universe. You have come to take something from me and have pleased me by your sweet words. But you're asking only 3 paces of land, therefore you are not very intelligent. According to Vedic understanding, the entire universe is regarded as an ocean of space. In that ocean, there are innumerable planets, and each planet is called a dweep or island. So, the planets are said to be islands. They are swimming in the space, right? So when approached by Lord Vamandev, Bali Maharaj was actually in possession of all the dvipas or islands in space. Bali Maharaj was very pleased to see the features of Vamandev and was ready to give him as much land as he could ask. But because Lord Vamandev asked only 3 paces of land, Bali Maharaj considered him not very intelligent. He said, you have come to me. I'm the owner of the entire universe, I can give you a full planet. What you're asking only 3 steps of land from me. So this shows that you're not mature, not intelligent. You should ask charity in proportion to the one who you're asking from. Yeah, that's what Bali Maharaj is feeling. Napuman mam upavrajya.
Na Puman Mam Uparvajya.
Bhuyo yachitum arhati.
Bhuyo Yachitam Arhiti.
Tasmad vriti karim bhumim.
Tasmad Vriti Karim Bhumim.
Vato kamam pratichame.
Vato Kamam Prachichame.
O small boy, one who approaches me to beg something should not have to ask anything more anywhere. Therefore, if you wish, you may ask from me as much land as will suffice to maintain you according to your needs. Bali Maharaj is saying, you have come to me. Ask me enough so that next time you don't have to ask from anybody anything. Shri Bhagwan Vacha.
Shri Bhagavan Vacha.
Yavanto Vishaya Preshthas.
Yavanto Vishaya Preshthas.
Trilokyam Ajitendriyam.
Trilokyam Ajitendriyam.
Na Shaknuvanti Te Sarve.
Na
Na Shaknuvanti Te Sarve.
Pratipurayitum Nripa.
Pratipurayitam Nripa.
The personality of Godhead said, "O my dear king, even the entirety of whatever there may be within the 3 worlds to satisfy one's senses cannot satisfy a person whose senses are uncontrolled. The material world is an illusory energy to deviate the living entities from the path of self-realization. Anyone who is in this material world is extremely anxious to get more and more things for sense gratification, right? The more we have, the more we want. Give the camel an inch and he wants an L, right? The more we get, the more we want. Actually, however, the purpose of life is not sense gratification, but self-realization. Therefore, those who are too addicted to sense gratification are advised to practice the mystic yoga system or Ashtanga yoga system, consisting of yam, niyam, asana, pranayama, pratyahar, and so on. In this way, one can control the senses. The purpose of controlling the senses is to stop one's implication in the cycle of birth and death, as stated by Rishabdev. Nunam pramatta kurute vikarma yad indriya pritaya apranoti na sadhu manye yata atmanoyam api kleshada asadeha. When a person considers sense gratification the aim of life, he certainly becomes mad after materialistic living and engages in all kinds of sinful activity. He does not know that due to his past misdeeds, he has already received a body which, although temporary, is the cause of his misery. Actually, the living entity should not have taken on a material body, but he has been awarded the material body for sense gratification. Therefore, I think it not befitting an intelligent man to involve himself again in the activities of sense gratification, by which he perpetually gets material bodies one after another. Bhagavatam, Canto 5, Chapter 5, Text 4. So Rishabh Dev is saying that we should not actually be inside a material body. This material body means, oh, we want sense gratification. That's why we have been given this body. We should actually be in our spiritual body. So he's saying that already we have been in the cycle of birth and death, always seeking sense gratification. So now in this human birth, I want to stop it. Otherwise, I'll get more and more bodies. Thus, according to Rishabdev, the human beings in this material world are just like madmen, engaged in activities which they should not perform, but which they do perform only for sense gratification. Such activities are not good, because in this way one creates another body for his next life as punishment for his nefarious activities. And as soon as he gets another material body, he is put into repeated suffering in material existence. Therefore, the Vedic culture or Brahmanical culture teaches one how to be satisfied with possessing the minimum necessities in life. So, Brahmana, one of the qualities is that he's satisfied. Whatever he gets, he's satisfied. Doesn't, you know, um, that is what is really needed right now in our modern society. We can see our modern society that we have more and more things, in fact, much more than we had before. But what is the condition of the heart? How satisfied are we with what we have? We have surrounded ourselves with so many gadgets, but are we satisfied? So here Vaman Dev is saying that one needs to be satisfied. I just want 3 pieces of land. That's it. I'm satisfied with that much. That's my needs. To teach this highest culture, Varna Sharma Dharma is recommended. The aim of the Varna Sharma divisions, Brahmana, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Brahmacharya, Grahasth, Vanaprasth, and Sannyas, is to train one to control the senses and be content with the bare necessities. Here, Lord Vamandev, as an ideal brahmachari, refuses Bali Maharaj's offer to give him anything he might want. He says that without contentment, one could not be happy, even if he possessed the property of the entire world or the entire universe. We saw that Hiranyakashipu, he was also ruling the entire universe, right? He had taken up the palaces of Indra. The demigods also had to run away that time. So he was ruling the entire universe, but he was not satisfied, Hiranyakashipu. He still had so much anger towards his own son, so much envy towards his son. So Vamandev is saying that one needs to be content with whatever one has. That's something which we need to cultivate, being content with what we have. In human society, therefore, the Brahmanical culture, Kshatriya culture, and Vaishya culture must be maintained. And people must be taught how to be satisfied with only what they need. In modern civilization, there is no such education. Everyone tries to possess more and more, and everyone is dissatisfied and unhappy. The Krishna consciousness movement is therefore establishing various farms, especially in America, to show how to be happy and content with minimum necessities of life and to save time for self-realization, which one can very easily achieve by chanting the Maha Mantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. So Prabhupada is pointing out that by being satisfied, not over endeavoring, then one will have some time and energy then to occupy, engage that time and energy in chanting Hare Krishna. And in this way, get self-realization, revive our love for Krishna. Any questions, comment?
So I think that's the reason, right? Like the Vaishnavas, you're, you are asked to chant 16 rounds because the time goes in that, right? Then less time in doing other stuff like for sense gratification.
Yeah. Yeah.
Mhm. It's true. Yeah.
Yeah. Tribikramer asantushto
Tribihi kramera
Krami asantushti
asantushto
dvipe napi na puryate
द्वीपेनापि न पूर्यते
navavarsha sametena
Navavarsha
नववर्षसमेतेन
sametena
sapta dvipa varechaya.
sapta
स्वप्तद्वीपवरेक्षया.
varechya.
If I were not satisfied with 3 paces of land, then surely I would not be satisfied even with possessing one of the 7 islands consisting of 9 varshas. Even if I possessed one island, I would hope to get others. So Vamandev is saying this is our human tendency, right? If we are not satisfied, we want more and more. Then the more we have, the more we want. No, I want this, I want bigger, I want better. So he's saying, I'm satisfied. That's another thing. He's going to take the whole universe. That's another thing. But yeah.
Hare
Saptadvipa.
Krishna, Shilpa ji, I just wanted to say one thing regarding reading this. You remember once Ratna asked that there are only Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then there are 9 planets.
Uh-huh.
So it's written here there are only 7 Sat Dweep. There are only 7 planets.
Ah.
So
Okay.
Ratna, you got your answer? The Uranus and the Pluto, already one of them has been removed. So now there are only 8 planets,
Yeah.
right? And even that
Yes.
8th is also not a planet. That soon that will be removed because it's written here that only 7. So we have 7 days, 7
Yeah,
planets,
that's why.
right?
Yes.
You got it?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
So where the other 2 planets, meaning Pluto and
Uranus, I mean, they are not planets.
Uranus?
There need to be some, a body has to be had those characteristics to fall under to become a planet. But then they
Right.
removed the Pluto. They say now Pluto is no more. It doesn't fall into that category that a planet need to have the characteristics.
Oh,
So they already removed Pluto. I think few years back, they announced that Pluto is not a planet anymore.
oh, okay. Not
Yeah.
aware of it. Sorry.
Very soon the other one will also be removed because it's written here, no? Sato Dweep. And Shilpaji said that one Dweep is one planet.
Yeah.
Yeah, so only Sat Dweep.
So Pluto and Uranus they have been removed, huh?
Yeah, they
From
will be.
planetary
Only one is
system.
removed now. Only one
Oh,
is removed
okay.
now, Snehaji. There are 8 now, but
Uh-huh.
that might also not fall into the category later. Yeah, when they discover more, the scientist. Yeah.
And it's already there in the Bhagavatam.
Yeah, it's there in Bhagavatam. That is the stance. No, so they are just wasting
Huh?
time.
Yes, yeah.
Saptadvipadipatayo.
Saptadvipadipateyo
Saptadvipa
Nripavenya Gayadaya.
Nripavenya
Nripavenya
Gayadaya
Arte Kamer Gatanantam.
Arther
Kame
Kamergatanantam
Gatanantam
Trishnaya Itina Shrutam.
Trishnaya
Krishnaya
Itina
Itina
Shrutam.
Shritam.
We have heard that all the powerful kings like Maharaj Prithu and Maharaj Gaya achieve proprietorship over the seven dvipas, they could not achieve satisfaction or find the end of their ambitions. I'm not sure why Maharaj Prithu is mentioned like that, because we remember him to being, he's like an incarnation of the Lord, right? Shaktavesh avatar, and he did so much. The earth was so happy when he was ruling. So I'm not sure why is Lord Vamandev saying could not find satisfaction or end of their ambitions. Maharaj Prithu also stopped his 100th Ashwamedha Yagya because Brahmaji told him. He said, it's okay, don't do your 100th one. Indra is so insecure about the whole thing, just let it go. So he gave up his desire of doing the 100th Ashwamedha also. Anyway, let's
And
read.
Maharaj Prithu is also one of the Navada Bhakti में जो एक
Yeah,
prominent है, right?
deity
He's one
worship.
of them. Yeah, deity worship, right? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, Yadra Chayo Papanena
Yadracheya yo upranena
Santushto Vartate Sukham
santushto vartate sukham
Na Santushtas Tribhiloke
na santushte tribhiloke
Ajitatmopasadite.
ajit atma upasadite.
One should be satisfied with whatever he achieves by his previous destiny, for discontent can never bring happiness. Sorry. A person who is not self-controlled will not be happy, even with possessing the three worlds. We see that the earlier generation had this kind of, like our grandparents, we would hear them saying,
Yes.
be happy with what you have gotten by destiny, be satisfied. But now we don't hear such things anymore. Now we
Because
always
that
hear
time,
more and more, more and more. Huh?
yeah, because that time there used to be so much love in cousins because they never compared each other.
Yeah,
And they were very happy with if he had, they were happy that you have at least. I'll share it, don't worry.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
there was
they
no
would by
competition.
example they would prove by by
Yes,
their own this thing. Yeah.
there was
Like,
no, and I don't know, but I don't know, maybe it was we were fortunate or what, I don't know. The satisfaction was there.
yeah,
I don't know why. Like we never asked for our personal rooms. I remember in a one room everybody fitted, and I never even knew that we had a room. Never even asked. But I don't know. I think we were fortunate and we were blessed.
we never asked for toys or anything.
No, never,
You would like
never, never.
satisfied.
Whatever if they had, they gave us, we played.
Yeah.
So I
yeah.
don't know, maybe
It's a
we
different
were
time,
fortunate.
right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, maybe different
it's
time.
a different time. If happiness is the ultimate goal of life, one must be satisfied with the position in which he is placed by providence. This instruction is also given by Prahlad Maharaj. Sukham Aindriyakam Daitya Deha Yogena Dehinam Sarvatra Labhyate Devat Yatha Dukham Ayatnataha. My dear friends born of demoniac families, the happiness perceived with reference to the sense objects by contact with the body can be obtained in any form of life. According to one's past fruitive activities, such happiness is automatically obtained without endeavor, just as we obtain distress. Bhagavatam 7.6.3. This philosophy is perfect in regard to obtaining happiness. So Prahlad Maharaj is saying, just as distress comes, distress also comes automatically based on our past karma. Similarly, happiness will also come automatically based on our past karma. No need to separately endeavor for it. We are thinking that, okay, happiness will come only when we endeavor for it. No, but it will come. Krishna also says in Bhagavad Gita, happiness and distress are like summer and winter season. They will come and go. Real happiness. Now, what is real happiness? Is described in Bhagavad Gita 6:21. So, come aiti antikam tat yad buddhigrayam atindriyam veti yatra na chaivayam stitas chalati tatvatah. In the spiritually joy state, one is situated in boundless, transcendental happiness and enjoys himself through transcendental senses. Established thus, one never departs from the truth. One has to perceive happiness by the super senses. The super senses are not the senses of the material elements. Every one of us is a spiritual being, Aham Brahmasmi, and every one of us is an individual person. Our senses are now covered by material elements. And because of ignorance, we consider the material senses that cover us to be our real senses. The real senses, however, are within the material covering. So this eyes, ears, nose, we are thinking these are our senses. Actually, this is just the covering of our real senses. Our real senses are covered right now. The real happiness is happiness of the soul. The soul is Anandamayo Bhyasat, always happy. It's Satchidananda. So we are seeking happiness in the material world. Actually, happiness is there when we can understand that we are spirit souls, that we are part and parcel of Krishna. Then we will be truly happy. Deinosmin yatha dehe, within the covering of the material elements are the spiritual senses. Sarvopadhi vinirmuktam tat paratvena nirmalam. When the spiritual senses are uncovered by these senses, we can be happy. So, how to uncover the spiritual senses? By engaging our senses in the service of Krishna. Rishikesha, Rishikena. Rishikena, Rishikesha. Like engaging the senses in the service of Master of the senses. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. Satisfaction of the spiritual senses is thus described. Rishikena, Rishikesha, Sevanam Bhakti Ruchyate. When the senses are engaged in devotional service to Rishikesh, then the senses are completely satisfied. Who is Rishikesh?
Krishna.
Krishna.
Why is he called
Krishna.
Rishikesh? What's the significance of this name, Rishikesh?
He's the
The
Lord of the senses, the master
sense.
of the.
That's right, master of the senses. Without the superior knowledge of sense gratification, one may try to satisfy his material senses, but happiness will never be possible. One may increase his ambition for sense gratification and even achieve what he desires for the gratification of his senses. But because this is on the material platform, he will never achieve satisfaction and contentment. Coming up, 9th canto, we are going to hear Maharaj Yayati saying he enjoyed for so many years, so much he enjoyed, but he never got satisfaction. He never felt satisfied. So he was a king and he endeavored so much to feel happy through sense gratification, but he never found that satisfaction. In the end, he gave up everything. So the real happiness is in devotional service. That is where we can get real happiness. Only in devotional service. We want to be happy, we want to see others happy, then we need to engage in devotional service and engage others in devotional service. According to Brahmanical culture, one should be content with whatever he obtains without special endeavor and should cultivate spiritual consciousness. Then he will be happy. The purpose of the Krishna consciousness movement is to spread this understanding. People who do not have scientific spiritual knowledge mistakenly think that the members of the Krishna consciousness movement are escapists, trying to avoid material activities. In fact, however, we are engaged in real activities for obtaining the ultimate happiness in life. So, of course, one cannot use Krishna consciousness as an excuse not to do one's duties. Arjuna did not want to fight. Krishna told him, no, you get up, you fight, you have to fight. So we have to do our duty. So Prabhupada is saying it's not that the members of Krishna conscious society are escapists, no. But they just have a higher understanding that real happiness is only in devotional service. In fact, however, we are engaged in real activities for obtaining the ultimate happiness in life. If one is not trained to satisfy the spiritual senses and continues in material sense gratification, he will never obtain happiness that is eternal and blissful. Because we are thinking that these eyes, ears, nose that we can see, those are our real senses. But we actually have spiritual senses. And we are trying to satisfy this material eyes, ears, nose. And that's why we are not finding any satisfaction. But if we can begin to satisfy our spiritual senses, then we will feel happy. And then how to do that? We have to engage our senses in the service of Krishna. So that is devotional service. That happiness is never ending happiness. Srimad Bhagavatam 551 therefore recommends Tapo divyam putraka yena sattvam shuddhayed yasmat brahma saukyam tva anantam. One must practice austerity so that his existential position will be purified and he will achieve unlimited blissful life. So if one wants to be happy, one has to engage in austerity. By austerity, one will be able to control the mind and senses. By controlling mind and senses, one will be able to purify one's consciousness, and in that way one can be happy. So this is Maharaj Rishabdev is saying, do a little austerity. By doing austerity, we can control our mind and senses. By controlling our mind and senses, we can purify our consciousness. When our consciousness is purified, we will be happy. Is that okay? Comments, questions? Add something? Okay, so
I think we
Vaman
read
Dev is
this in Bhagavad Gita also, right, Shilpaji?
that.
That do the austerity and then control your mind and senses, and then gradually it will get purified, and our conscious will get purified, and then we can do more, like we'll be more satisfied and happy. Is it? No?
Well, it's not all in one verse in Bhagavad
Not
Gita.
in one. Yes, yes, not in all
It's
one.
not
Yes,
in
yes,
one
yes,
verse.
yes. Absolutely, absolutely. Okay.
Yeah,
So, like how we are advised never to stop austerities.
that's right. That's right. Austerity in relation to Krishna.
In relation to Krishna, yes.
Yeah.
Never stop devotional service to Krishna.
Yes, that's right.
Mm.
Never stop
Oh,
devotional service.
yeah. Hare Krishna. Is it mean like we have to reduce our material desire or set something which is really related with spirituality or something like that?
Yes.
Yeah, because
This
it is saying like practice austerity. It means like we have to minimize the desire or material desire or something which is not really required, just
Yeah.
to keep or so off or something like that.
Yes.
that's the
Oh.
cause of misery.
Yeah, so we must have to reduce these all things. But
Yeah.
yeah,
See, that's
and
the aim, right? It said in the beginning, that's the aim. Our aim of life is not sense gratification, but self-realization.
yeah. So whatever your requirement, like urgent, not urgent, like the requirement which is really required for you.
Yeah.
Like without air, you cannot breathe. Without water, you cannot make your fulfillment of thirstiness, like that. So
Yes.
something which is really very much necessary to survive, you must have
Yeah.
to follow
Yeah.
that. Or, uh,
Yeah.
but it is not possible for yeah, practice. That's why it's written practice.
Practice. Yeah. So the
Yeah,
more
yeah,
we hear and chant,
yeah.
the more we hear and chant, then Krishna, who's in our heart, when we are hearing the messages of Krishna, then Krishna, who's in our heart, he cleans our heart of the material desires. So then, the
Yeah.
more we hear about Krishna, then gradually, because Krishna helps to clean our heart, then our material desires can gradually be lessened.
Hmm. And one more thing, like my sister, she read every day, like they also have classes like us. So before they started, they say about the Vaishnav Aparadh, 10 Vaishnav Aparadhs. So they recited that also. So what is this? It is also given by Prabhupada Maharaj, or it is mentioned somewhere in the Bhagavatam or Bhagavad Gita or Chaitanya Charitamrita?
वैष्णव अपराध और नाम अपराध?
No, वैष्णव अपराध, 10 प्रकार के वैष्णव अपराध से बचना चाहिए, something like that they recite. Actually, I did not recall everyone.
I'm not sure.
Oh, you're not sure. Yeah, they
Maybe
recite it every
nectar of
day.
devotion.
शिल्पा जी, शी इज कंफ्यूज्ड, वो वही है,
हाँ?
शी इज
नाम अपराध.
कंफ्यूज्ड. हाँ, वो
Because
नाम
there are
अपराधी है.
there's 10 types of नाम अपराध.
Oh, but they say like Vaishnav अपराध. Okay.
Then this 10
वैष्णव को
अपराध.
मतलब बचना चाहिए, वैष्णव को.
हाँ,
Like
हाँ,
something
देखो.
like that. हाँ, इस प्रकार के अपराध से
Yeah.
बचना चाहिए.
Yeah, we
हाँ.
need to actually study and memorize this 10 offenses to the holy name, so that we don't commit these offenses, so that we can come at least to the point of namabhas, offenseless chanting of the
Oh,
holy name. And
okay.
when we chant with inattention, when we are not attentive to chanting, then it can give rise to all the other 9 offenses.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah,
it
they
is
say something like
important.
that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so it is important for us to know these
बस
offenses.
तो ये तो लेकिन डराने वाली बात हो जाती है ना, अब उतना तो कंसंट्रेशन नहीं है ना हम लोगों के अंदर.
But try. We just have to
क्योंकि
try.
फिर लगता है कि फिर तो ये तो एक अंदर से मतलब नॉट नेगेटिविटी बट एक डर आ जाता है.
नहीं, तो ये क्या है, जो हमको जानने के लिए, जैसे to understand that not to blaspheme a devotee who's engaged in propagating the holy name of the Lord. Then second is to understand that that we cannot equal Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva to Lord Vishnu. So to understand these things, not to disobey the instructions of the spiritual master, then not to blaspheme the Vedas, like this. So it's not about not about getting scared, but about being aware.
aware, yeah.
Yeah, and when we are aware, then we will be careful. Then, of course, inattention is something that most of us suffer with. Inattention is something which is really because the mind keeps running away. But what to do? Then, as soon as we become aware, then we again say, okay, let me focus on hearing the holy name.
Maybe you will remember, like, oh no,
Yeah.
this is not good. Yeah.
Yeah,
We
then
can
okay,
concentrate.
that's
Yeah.
what. Then we can just endeavor to concentrate. And Krishna sees that endeavor because it's not
Yes.
easy for us to concentrate.
Yeah.
So but Krishna sees the endeavor that, oh, he's trying, he or she is trying. Yeah. Then Krishna helps.
Okay.
But at least
Yeah.
we need to try, right? Then only Krishna will help. If we don't try, then what he'll do? Right?
Okay. Thank you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Srila
Jai.
Prabhupada ki jai, Gaur
Jai.
Bhakta Vrinda ki jai, Hare
Jai.
Krishna.